Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. So I just watched your president, liar-in-chief, the senile old bastard Joe Biden, call for restrictions on your firearms rights. So I did a video a few days ago, and I asked myself, excuse the lighting, I didn't feel like turning it on today. But basically, this son of a bitch said no amendment, and he's been saying it, to the Constitution is absolute. You know what's absolute, Mr. Biden? Let me tell you right now, President Biden. We are willing to fight and die for our Second Amendment rights. Now, it doesn't worry Mr. Biden too much when I say that. It doesn't worry the Democratic representatives, because they have men around them who are carrying 30-round magazines, several. Not like I carry a semi-automatic weapon. They're carrying fully automatic weapons to protect them, and they do not care. They'll gun down anyone who presents their charges. Being President Biden, Maxine Waters, any of those people, they'll gun all of us down without a second thought. So we've reached this point in Second Amendment history. We've reached this point in American history. I have a good buddy. I'm going to post this tomorrow on the Dan Dawson Show on Facebook, who said, oh, Tucker Carlson's a liar, and if anybody listens to him, they need to go get their hair checked, and that's where you fail. You see what I'm saying? If you have AR-15s and 9mm, which this friend does, and you support this, then you're part of the problem. I just don't have any clue as to why these people, these liberals who are protected by men with guns that make mine, as a law-abiding citizen, look like slingshots. But that's okay. You know what? That's just fine. I sat here last night and I was so hot, I had to actually take a step outside. So I grabbed my little glass of Jack and sat outside and smoked a cigarette. And Tammy's like, well, what's wrong? And I'm like, well, this motherfucker's lying. They have no real cure for gun violence. The real cure for gun violence started decades ago, when they took prayer out of school, when they took God from our hearts, when they took the American flag down, and we no longer identified as Americans. We no longer stood united under our flag. Because to me, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. If you're an American and we have the same ideals and principles, you're my brother. But see, that's not what they do today. See, they come to you and they say, we have to teach LBGTQ, whatever. I don't get it. Don't know, don't care. Instead of just saying, We have the same ideals and principles. No matter your race, your sex, your gender, whatever. If you're an American and you want to stand behind our flag, I respect you. They don't do that. No, they do hate. They do hate. And it's really embarrassing. It's idiosyncrasy, right? It's like if you're going to do that, and for me, but Memorial Day weekend just passing. And for those of you who've watched the show for a long time, you know I buried one of my best friends, my mentor. He guided me through the Army. Our thing was, if you saw one, you saw the other one. We were never far apart in my 10 years of being in the military. And to have these pieces of shit, Maxine Waters, Cori Bush, Joe Biden, tell me anything. Like, no, I'm not giving up my guns, Francis. Come and get them. I don't know. It kind of actually hit me kind of hard. I was watching that last night. I'm still really pissed off about it. So I didn't want to make a true video, because I think a true video might have been a little too much for YouTube. So where we are now, if you're agreeing with turning in your firearms and being disarmed, then you go do that. So one of the questions I asked the other day is like, you know what? If it's a mass shooting and I'm armed and I'm the only person armed and I'm in a place like, say, Washington, California, Chicago, why shouldn't I make sure me and my loved ones get out? And fuck you. You chose not to be armed. That's on you. If anybody can answer that question for me, I would appreciate it. I haven't really gotten any good answers to it. And this is just me being open and honest to you. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, especially in these days and times, keep your powder dry and do what you got to do.